back when you're...
He just slammed into me. He's making the U-turn. He's going now southbound Madrid. Just crashed into a curb again. Hit unsuccessful. Get your hands up! Get your...
At any given time, there are thousands of commercial vehicles in the state of California. What drivers want you to know to share the road. According to the California Driver's Manual, a car going 55 miles an hour needs this much space to come to a complete stop. Semi-trucks need double that. Witnesses say that Fragoso and his family were right here, just feet away from the Monterey County Courthouse, when an ICE agent came in and whisked him away. So what do you do if you come across a rattlesnake? First things first, stop in your tracks. Step back if you have to. Come November, gas is going to go up 12 cents a gallon at the fuel pump. And that's not all. Drivers are going to pay more vehicle registration fees. Normally cars would be traveling on North Main Street right now, but not today. A eucalyptus tree has blocked all 6 lanes of traffic. These sidewalks are decades old, and you can see some of the patchwork that was done as a temporary fix, but it's not going to work in every single situation. If you follow along with me, you'll see other parts of this same sidewalk have completely caved in. This is going to have to be replaced. The big question always is, how close is too close? Well, if they turn and look at you, you've gone too close. I want to show you on the map where we are right now, here on Summit Road. Now, fire officials say today's conditions, lower temperatures, higher humidity. It is actually preventing the flames from growing in intensity, allowing fire crews to get direct access to the fire lines. There's a helicopter flying above us right now, but one of the problems fire crews are facing while battling the Sobranes fire, the smoke is so thick they can't see what's below them. I am 90 feet away from the camera right now. This much line was wrapped around one whale on Thursday. This looks like your typical 4-bedroom apartment, but it's inside that tells a very different story. Here is the kitchen here that several families all use to share with each other to go ahead and make their meals. And if you follow me even more into the apartment, one person sleeps on this couch here, while several other families live in the bedrooms upstairs, for a total of 13 people living here. We've got 2 different types of burns that are happening here in the fire zone. One of them is a clean burn, where all of the vegetation and the leaves have been burnt off of the trees, leaving just the trunks. But just across the street from that, just feet away, we have something called a dirty burn. There are still leaves up on the trees. They could still burn in a fire. It was right here where Emiliano's father said he left the 8-month-old infant just a few steps from the front door so he could go run in and grab a lunchbox. But in those short seconds, that was enough time for the suspect to steal the car and drive away. There's a new configuration that we want to share with you. A sidewalk for pedestrians, a bicycle lane, and parallel parking right next to the road. The entire smash and grab caught on surveillance video. In the video, you see 2 suspects throw something through the door, crashing it in. That's how they make their way inside of the bakery. There's about 3 days worth of gear here. In this 50-pound bag is a sleeping bag, some clothes, as well as rappelling gear, a helmet, some snacks, a sleeping pad, tent, chair, day pack, and walking sticks. Crossing any major street in Salinas can be tricky for pedestrians, but the city's trying to make it safer.
Yellow light are flashing.
The flashing beacon at the intersection of North Main Street and East Lamar is the 5th installation of its type. 63,000 people who are deaf or hard of hearing can take advantage of this. 3 cars caught up in the firestorm, all left behind, all completely burnt up. We're going to do a little experiment right now where we have a soccer ball that we're going to pretend is a small child darting out into traffic, and me going 20 miles an hour. We're going to see if I can slow down fast enough to avoid hitting the child. So here we go. So as you can see, there's really not a lot of time to react. In November, 64% of Californians approved the Public Safety and Rehabilitation Act of 2016, also known as Prop 57. While much of it focused on cutting taxpayer dollars by allowing early release for some nonviolent criminals, part of it also changed the way juveniles go through the court system. Authorities believe the latest cases may be related to a major drug smuggling operation that we first told you about 2 weeks ago. Next month, the city of Salinas is going to spend more than $1 million to fix up sidewalks like this. Another issue that's happening here in the harbor is that sand from State Park's property is drifting into the harbor, creating some problems for vessels. Bixby Bridge is one of the most popular tourist destinations on all of the Central Coast. But not today. That's because Highway 1 is closed from Carmel down south. Not only is Pfeiffer Canyon Bridge posing a major problem, but there are multiple other hazards along the roadway. Blight can come in many forms, from broken down cars to parking on the lawn, overgrown vegetation, even trash in the front yard. Monterey County's wine industry is worth more than $100 million. The top two selling wines are Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. In fact, the Monterey County Vintners Association says Pinot Noir is the hottest grape right now. I came here to Rath Wines in Soledad to find out why. The Oregon man convicted of killing 17-year-old Gabby Baez learned his fate on Wednesday. Andrew Bennett was sentenced to a maximum 6 years for vehicular manslaughter. 1 week ago, there were 63 RVs, trailers, and cars on Lapis Road just outside of Marina. There appears to be fewer this time around. Some of the people have moved out, but some new faces are moving in. The last time there was a large drawing like this, the line started here at the booth and ended here at the other side of the store. Last November, we did a piece on some of the dangerous intersections between Salinas and Monterey, including here at Del Monte and Sloat Avenue. Keeping pedestrians safe. We're with police during a pedestrian enforcement operation. According to the state attorney general's office, last year there were 782 use of force incidents that resulted in either serious injury or death. 832 civilians were involved, and of those, nearly 19% were killed. 6 officers were also killed. But we wanted to take a look at some of the local numbers here on the Central Coast. The city of Monterey does have a dog park, and it's in the El Estero area. However, according to the survey, more than 850 people say they don't come here.